Hi, everyone. Uh, Welcome to another wonderful live trading room here at the Trading Pit with Lachlan from Samurai Day Trading. Lachlan, thank you so much for another session that you're joining us for. How are you doing?
Doing well. Markets are very happy. Mind you, I say that about 5 minutes ago. They got a little bit angry, but they've been happy all day. So we're volume's looking good, just under 60,000. We're in for a good session. There's no doubt about that.
Well, let's then get started. If we have a good session ahead of us, I would love for us to get started and have some fun. Let's just make sure that we have the chat function on Zoom. Yes, we can see people are here typing. Love to see that. People on YouTube, just as an FYI, if you want to be part of the conversation, Lachlan is keeping an eye on the Zoom chat. So if you want, join us. I will add the register link for the next week session so you can join us and be part of the
Mm.
fun. But yeah, Lachlan, have fun. Good luck. Hopefully, you're going to catch very,
Perfect.
very good trades. And I'll see you again towards the end.
Very good. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Hi, everybody. I hope you magic Lockie here. I'm going to jump through these slides for you. It's beautiful 22-degree day here in downtown Japan, even in the mountains, guys. So I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna roll with a t-shirt today. I'm gonna roll with a t-shirt. The flip side, guys, fully branded though. This is the Samurai Generation One. This one, Generation Two, is released this weekend. So Gen Two should be actually a little bit more fun as well, which will be awesome. Guys, now I think we're in for a good little day. I think we're in a good little day. Let me just run through this. We'll just run through some tech stuff, guys, and then we'll get into the charts. So first and foremost, for those that you have been here before, welcome back. For those that are brand new to what we're doing here, welcome. My name is Lockie. I'm going to guide you through the charts today. Ultimately, we're going to be doing a live trading room. The reason we do that, guys, for the four key points are on the slide for you there. The most important one, ultimately, ladies and gents, most important one for me is number one and number four. So immediate proof of performance. And finally, as if we do anything today and you're like, oh, Lockie, I'd love to understand more about why you do what you do, as we will follow the AMA format, which is a bit of a military format, as I do come from the military, but that's effectively ask me anything. Now, again, guys, that's an opportunity to ask questions. Why are we doing what we're doing? Why do we choose the markets we trade and similar things, which is always good fun. Now, guys, this is the European Open live trading room. We do run a US closed live trading room as well. Guys, the US closed live trading room is a lot more volatile. They pick up a lot more signals, and again, it's a very very US centric, a very very US centric session today. We're going to be as I said, doing the European Open, that is European and US centric at the same time. Now, as you will find, typically that the European based traders today, you're probably going to have a really really simple session. As the FTAX has been very very easy to trade for probably the last sort of 3 to 4 years. So we're going to find that trend will just that trend will just keep continuing. So, guys, first and foremost, we are going to be trading futures. Some of you are trading CFDs. Guys, I did have a chat to Arlen only about 25 minutes ago about introducing, guys, a couple of CFD trades. For those of you that want to try and hold on to a trade for a significantly greater period of time, such as 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, guys, if you want to do that, then a CFD is actually better geared at doing that than a futures contract. But either way, guys, today we're going to be doing futures and CFDs. What does that mean? There's risk every time we take a trade. Now, because we are trading on margin, that means we borrow a little bit of money every time we take a trade. As it also means that risk can be magnified in both directions, both positive and negative magnification. Now, that's it, guys. Everything is general information only. Past performance of all financial products cannot be used as an indication of future performance. And finally, guys, there's this wonderful thing called a market risk factor. Ultimately, we are trading over the internet. Guys, what does that ultimately mean? I'll try and guide you in and out of the market as best I can, as per the 101 education course we use at Samurai. Guys, just a reminder, speaking of 101 education course, the 2026 course is being released, guys, on the 6th of December at our online annual conference. So please keep an eye out for that, because everybody around the world can come and attend that conference. We've got guest speakers coming. We've got trading psychology experts coming. We've got a whole lot of people coming to the conference to set you up for 2026. And I think that's going to be exciting, because 2026 is only 11. It's only 11 weeks away. So just be aware that 2026 is coming pretty quick. But we do have this thing in the market called a market risk factor. We'll do our best to navigate around that as best as we can. Now, my brief history, guys, if I can, I discovered futures trading on the 1st of August 2007. So I was a Forex and CFD trader. I discovered futures and switched immediately. As I started my first trading school on the 1st of August 2009, the reason being is we didn't have any decent trading schools in Australia. As I grew those trading schools to over 2,500 traders in 22 countries. I was 2 years ago relocated over to Japan. I was relocated to Japan, opened Samurai, and here we are. Now, how did I do all this? Effectively, I wrote all the mathematical algorithms behind the strategies and the indicators that we're going to be using today, and I am fascinated. I'm fascinated by the art of trading. So that means the psychology of great trading. That means developing strategies that work, indicators that work, controlling people's fear and greed, guys, their emotions. I don't know if you've ever experienced these things called emotions, but we want to try and mechanically control those as best as what we possibly can. So we're going to be working on all of that today, and a whole lot of more. Now, if you're into socials, guys, that are in your socials, we're on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and now TikTok, guys. So TikTok has officially been launched. Okay, it's not a massive launch. There are 3 videos there, but we will slowly build, guys. We will slowly build TikTok, guys, over the next little while. As if I'm running through anything today, if you've got any questions at all, such as courses, how do I get the live trading room? How do I get the indicators? How do I go to the annual conference? All of that kind of stuff. Guys, literally just send an email to info@samurai-daytrading.com. Guys, so the team are very, very good at answering questions about what's going on. Now, guys, just a quick reminder, if we can, the masterclasses, we've got part 2 of the masterclasses on tonight. Right? So tonight we're going to be doing smaller chart, larger chart combination trading. I've got some really good feedback on last week, which was candlestick analysis. Today we're going to be doing smaller chart, larger chart combination trading. Guys, and as it turns out, it looks like the 60-minute charts are going to be setting up some incredible trades, guys, for us today, leading into that masterclass. All right, so that starts 30 minutes. Guys, starts 30 minutes after this live trading room session finishes. If anybody needs the link to register, please ask me during the live trading room session, guys, and we'll be able to get you that link. Last point on this slide, guys, the virtual trading course. So our advanced trading course is booked out, guys, but you can attend via webinar if you want to. Guys, again, we've got, at this stage, we've limited the number of people in the virtual program to 12. Guys, that was the original intent. So if you do want to come along, guys, again, please email Samurai, and they can run you through all the different options and how to get rocking and rolling with that. It should, guys and girls, it should be really, really good fun. Now, what to expect today, guys, apart from a lot of trades, because the market is actually quite volatile, guys, the screens are going to be laid out as per the purple squares. Guys, I'm going to focus primarily on 12 things over there on the left-hand side of the screen. My big focus, or my primary focus, will ultimately be on the ones that are highlighted in red. CSA, for those that are not aware, is candlestick analysis. We ran a masterclass on that last week. Guys, an ABC and step all the way down the bottom is ultimately the number one thing that determines what direction we're going to be trading the market. That has served us very, very well all week, guys, particularly on the FDAX. We did have one losing trade on the NASDAQ yesterday, guys, but apart from that, we've had some really, really good trading this week, which is always good fun. So what we'll do, ladies and gents, we'll get into the charts. Let me shrink that down for you. I'll shrink that down, and we should, in a perfect world, we should be able to see charts. And what I am going to do too, now we're into the charts, I'm going to turn that little camera off there in the background. So let me see if I am the master of technology. So I'll turn that camera off solely so that we can focus 100% on charts. So I trust that now you guys have got pretty clear charts, which should serve us very, very well. Peter, how are you? Steve, how are you? Steve number 2, how are you? Daniel, how are you? So hello to all the hellos that are coming into the chat. All right, now guys, we'll break this down as quickly as we can. We're going to start in the bottom. Right-hand corner, because a couple of things that have occurred in the last 24 hours is really, really important to understand. One of the reasons why we are working towards. Thank you, Alan. So Alan's just sent me a message. Thank you. Perfect. So the technology. So congratulations, guys, to Alan. Guys. This technology transition was proving to be a bit of a challenge, but the master that she is, she said, no, I'm not going to be defeated by software. And as it turns out, it's all starting to work out quite well. So well done, Alan. I'm very excited. So, guys, yesterday, for those that were in the live trading room, guys, for those in the live trading room yesterday, we spoke about exactly this phenomenon yesterday. All right. So, can everybody see the top of the chart here? You've got an SBR. So, that's a mathematical algorithm running behind the chart saying there's a really, really stunning ratio, basically mathematical ratio signal here. You need to try and sell this market as best as you possibly can. Now, what we did yesterday, as I said to everybody, and I left this on the screen, guys, because again, I wanted to show you, if anything, the value of continuity of message, but also the value of I show up to the same live trading room every single day. We follow the same mantra that we've been following since 2009 every single day. So yesterday, guys, we drew our Fibonacci down this SBR candle. We caught the retrace back up. And I said, if these guys retrace back up and hit a key Fibonacci, for example, like the 50 Fib, these guys are going to turn around, come back down, fill a daily short, and probably go a long way. Now, because that is the FESX, and it has gone a very, very long way. So the reason I wanted to mention that is two, the analysis today would suggest we're probably going to get some early buying, and then I would suggest the selling may continue, because typically a sell down like that will set up 3 days worth of 3 days worth of sell down. So don't be surprised if today on the European markets they buy early. That sort of buying fades out pretty quickly. Whereas then we look for a really, really lovely sort of continuation of the short mentality in the market. Now, why I mention this, so I see this little blue circle on this chart here. This is exactly why I was having a chat to Arlen just before the session. I was about equipping all of the samurai traders with the capacity to also trade a CFD, guys, or a contract for difference. Now, ultimately, what we would do with this trade is we'd say, okay, everybody, we're going to go short when this price is hit. We're going to go short at this price, and we're going to hold it for 3 days. Now, again, what does that ultimately mean? Well, we're going for long-range trades on the futures markets now, but we could be going for ultra long-range trades using the signal setting indicators that we already have, which again is always good fun. Right? So we're working on that in the background, guys, which is a really good little project. Now, cruising down to the slightly smaller chart called the 4-hour chart. The FESX, I say, is opened in a 4-hour chart static bar reversal long. Okay, so again, same indicator that was telling us to sell the market down is now telling us to send it back the other way around sort of 24 hours later. What we need to be aware of, is what we need to be super aware of, particularly on the FDAX today, is whenever the FESX opens in a 4-hour chart trade, the FDAX normally loses a degree of its power, guys, and again it ultimately runs with the FESX. So what we're going to do, guys, we'll get rid of that fib. That's the fib we used yesterday. We're going to switch it upside down, which it needs to be, guys, in order to complement this one. And what we're looking for, guys, is if we do get an initial buying campaign on the FESX, we're looking for them to get stuck at that 50 fib. We're also looking for them to get stuck in the middle of the trend indicator. If that occurs, guys, we're actually going to pick up what many would be deeming a bit of a swing trigger short, guys. So we've got this beautiful red trend in the background. What does that ultimately mean? Swing triggers are always traded with the step and the trend. So what have we got? A potential for an early buy that might fade out. We could actually swing short through today's low. If we do that, we might get quite a nice little sell down. Right, now down to the 60-minute chart. So again, guys, what I want to highlight for you, the green Fibonacci's, I put this yellow square on for you as we got ready for today. Guys, note that we got stuck at the beautiful, beautiful 4-hour Fibonacci's again yesterday. So if we do sell down, understanding that the FESX loves the FESX loves the 50 fib, loves the 50 fib on the 4-hour chart. Then ultimately what we're looking for is we are looking for these guys to buy first, fail badly, turn around, come back down, hit that 50. If they break the 50, they're going to run. Juro, and how are you? I hope I got that name correctly. Mate, the trend indicator, so the trend indicator is a combination of moving averages. So we use exponential moving averages, simple moving averages. There's a derivative, so there's a Fibonacci derivative in there as well. What you'll find is if you switch different charts, say you go for the weekly chart to the daily chart from oil to gold, the algorithm modifies depending on the volatility of the market. Okay, so we could just put a series of moving averages on here if we wanted to, but what that ultimately means is we've basically got no advantage over anybody else. It's averaging, so it's just putting moving averages on. So you'll find that the MAs that suit oil and gold are different to the MAs that suit currency. They're different to the MAs that suit index trading. So Mate, it's it's a combination. And what we've done is we've basically put a Fibonacci variance into the actual indicator itself. And you'll find at the middle of the indicator, I'll give you a quick example. I can do more of this, guys, as we get in. Okay, see the middle of the indicator down here? Right, when these guys sold down, they touched the middle of the indicator, they took off. Right, when these guys came down, touched the middle of the indicator, they took off. Guess what's probably going to happen today? They're going to push up, hit the middle of the indicator, turn around, go back the other way. That's a function primarily of the index markets like the DAX, the FESX, the Nasdaq, the Dow, the FTSE, and so on. S&P 500, Nasdaq, famous for doing it. More questions, guys? I can jump on as we get into the session. So the big ones, guys, the big ones for today. S&P volume is currently 60,000 and rising, so we're in a good session. There's no US news today, guys. Obviously, with the shutdown, there's no European news. There's also no end to the shutdown in sight, guys, at this point in time from the update I got around 45 minutes ago. And for those that are coming to the masterclass, guys, anyone in the world can come to the masterclass tonight, guys. It's on 30 minutes after the session. As we're doing smaller chart, larger chart combination trading. All right, so if you want to come along, guys, I'll throw the link in shortly. Register, come along, say good day. It's completely free. It's completely free. Now, let's move across to the next big one, guys, S&P 500. All right, I'm watching my time very, very closely. So, guys, what we're looking for, particularly for the big mature S&P 500 traders, guys, you're watching for a 4-hour swing trigger short. Now, if these guys sell hard, guys, if the American markets sell hard, then again, watch for the 4-hour swing trigger short, guys. And if we do trigger that 4-hour trade, I want you to hold the trade short for 12 hours. So 12 hours, please. It will be a really, really lovely short. Very, very similar to the short we got yesterday. Now, flip side of that, at the moment, guys, we've got a 60-minute long. This is a very, very strong 60-minute long. Right, so what we've actually got at the moment, as much as the 60-minute long is quite old, what's occurred is we've basically turned, guys, off the pivots down the bottom here. We've turned off the pivot. We've basically closed inside the 60-minute long. They've tried to test it. That test has failed. Now the buyers are coming back in. So if you are a 60-minute chart trader, guys, and you are in that 60-minute long, I want you to hold that trade for around about 60 minutes. So you're going to be holding basically all the way through to the European Open. Now, one thing S&P, you guys, got to be a very close eye on. You've got the Asian high right here. So we treat that as an effectively an additional pivot level. What does that ultimately mean? Guys, if we push up to the Asian high, then we close above it. Guys, we're looking for longs. These guys, the buyers on the S&P already, guys, are blowing up their volume, right? So this is in extreme volume. So the slightly more advanced traders, you're going to draw your Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, making sure the spine is always run from left to right. You guys are looking for a failure at the 88.6 Fibonacci, which is where they're failing right now, and you're shorting under the 76.8. Okay, so that's for the slightly more advanced traders, right? Advanced traders. Now, across to the daily chart, right? So note once again, so yesterday we spoke about this -8 rated static bar reversal. What's it done? Retrace back up, hit key Fibonacci, turn around, and then ended up producing an enormous short. So for those of you that want to trade this sort of today very, very accurately, as that's a very big short that triggered yesterday. We spoke about it yesterday in the LTR, so that's okay. Or the day before, guys. I think it was the day before we spoke about it. Either way, it's gone exactly where it's meant to. What you guys are looking for today is you're looking for a really, really lovely retrace by these buyers. Normally, these sells go for 3 days, so we should actually be selling for another 2 days, typically speaking. Note, great question before, guys, about the MDI or the trend indicator. Note when the S&P 500 sold down, can everybody see it got caught in the, hey presto, middle of the trend indicator? All right, so the trend indicator is really, really good as effectively a mobile support and resistance level. So these guys have sold down as far as they should effectively sell down. Okay, so what am I expecting today, guys? I'm expecting the S&P to be a little bit confused. I think the key to today will be the 4-hour chart, guys, and the 60-minute chart. Now, at the moment, guys, on the 4-hour chart, okay, we've got that tiny little red candle is based on the stair stepping of the market. The tiny little red candle here, which actually represents the Asian high, is a 60-minute chart static bar reversal long. Right, so there's our 4-hour chart. It's a 4-hour long. We drop down to the 60-minute chart, guys, and you'll note here, there's our little static bar reversal. these guys could push through the Asian high. If they push through the Asian high, and again, they push through the middle of this MDI, we're going to get a really lovely long. If they get caught in the middle of the MDI, guys, we're going to get big shorts. Okay, we're going to get big shorts. Now, I'm thinking the market's a little bit confused, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be tradable. Right? So back down to the 5-minute chart. For those that look for double failure reversals, it looks like the S&P 500 is getting ready to basically fail, guys, fail to the high side. We know about the Asian high. I am going to give the slightly more advanced traders. Can everybody see over on the left-hand side, this little static bar reversal short here? Okay, can everybody see that? So what's ultimately going to happen? If these buyers push up on European Open and fail, guys, there'll be a ton of institutional traders who are going to send this market short at exactly 48.25. That's exactly 48.25 based on that signal there on the left-hand side. So again, guys, depending on how you trade, many junior traders will wait for the opening candle of Europe to sort itself out before they trade. Slightly more experienced traders will be starting to scale into a potential reversal move, and we go from there. Okay. All right, let me get a wriggle on, guys. Otherwise, I'm going to run out. I'm going to run out of time. Nasdaq. Okay, let me bring the Nasdaq up for you. So Nasdaq again, guys. We've got this 60-minute long. These guys are in the 60-minute long at the moment. Okay, so again, for those that trade before European market opens, that's an incredible trade. Again, guys, for the Nasdaq traders, we're actually setting up an additional 60-minute long as well. So if we break the Asian high, which is sitting right here, and we run, it's going to be very impressive. If they can't break the Asian high and fail, guys, we're going to get a really nice sell. The reciprocal on Nasdaq, guys, those looking for a static bar reversal, everybody see this -3 rated SBR just here? That means you guys are looking to sell underneath that if you're slightly more advanced. So what does it mean? We're looking for Europe to push up, fail badly. We're looking for the Asian high to grab all the buyers. We're looking for basically, guys, a liquidity sweep over the top, where a whole lot of people are going to try and swing trade the Asian high long. We're not going to do that. We're actually going to take it back the other way. So that's what we're going to be. That's what we're going to be doing. Key lessons. 60-minute chart. Okay, so once again, this little. I'll put a circle on it for you here, guys. That's our Asian high. Right, that's our little Asian high just there. Okay, if we push much beyond the Asian high and get very heavily rejected, it's going to be the middle of the 60-minute trend indicator. As I do note that the buyers are 3 phases long on the 60-minute chart. So for those that are into GAN and other things along those lines, as I see 3 phases to the high side. So this may be the end of the buyers. This may be the end of the buyers. If we close over the Asian high, so if we were to close over the Asian high on the 5-minute chart, we're going to see a little bit of buying before they reverse. If these guys fail, as we're going to see these guys sell down relatively quickly. Nasdaq traders, okay, as we do always, as we head into this session, Nasdaq traders, please keep a very, very close eye on the 15-minute chart and the 30-minute chart. There's an incredible -57 right there, guys, -57 rated sell. If we were to push up, fail at the Asian high, and then get a wriggle on, there's going to be a ridiculous amount of selling, guys, in the market at 25095. So if the buyers run out of steam, guys, the sellers are going to go for that level of 25095. If they break that, we're obviously in for some really nice shorts. Okay, now that one's done, so we'll put that back to where it needs to be. We'll fatten those candles out. Perfect. Now, guys, across to the FESX. We'll just fatten the candles out. Have a look at what they're doing. I'm just going to double check that 60-minute fib. This is why we always run double checks. That 60-minute fib's got to be up the other way, firstly. All right, so guys, Fibonacci being up and down the right way. Fibonacci is not palindromic, so it's incredibly important we have it up and down the right way. The 4-hour fib, we know about the 4-hour long, which is fine. Oh, this is looking awesome to the downside. Okay, what have we got, guys? Around about 5 minutes until the gun goes. So for the FDAX traders, at this point in time, cruise across to the daily chart. 1, 2. So your daily short, guys, your daily short's gone relatively well. However, the short triggered, as we spoke about yesterday, the day before, The short is actually triggered, guys, but they're basically right in the middle of the MDI. Now, what was effectively a problem for the sellers is now potentially going to be a problem for the buyers. This daily chart, guys, honestly, not very clear. Okay, they don't really know what they're doing just yet. If we drop down to the 4-hour chart, let me just bring this onto the screen for you. My humble opinion, those sellers own the stair step. That is a very low ratio. Guys, it's a very low ratio based static bar reversal. I'd prefer an increase of ratio, but again, a 2-rated candle is not too bad. What does that mean, guys? If the FDAX was to sell down early, then have a crack to the high side, they're probably going to try and honor this 4-hour chart trade. The problem with honoring that chart trade is they're trading straight into resistance. Guys, that little 4-hour low point there is definitely worth putting on our chart, 24,300. So remember that number. 24,300 down to the 60-minute chart. What I would absolutely love the FDAX to do is sell down first, fail badly, turn around, and then when we pick up a really, really lovely little long, we are missing a Fibonacci here. So we're going to run that Fibonacci down because we're looking for, look at that, 61.8 Fibonacci failure. Quite incredible. So again, guys, on open, which is around 3 minutes away, what we're looking for the FDAX to do is push back up to key market levels, fail very badly, blow all its volume up, and then we're looking for a short. Looking at what these guys are doing on the 60-minute chart, guys, we've got a beautiful higher here. This candle is actually quite a weak 60-minute chart candle. So today's low is going to be a 60-minute chart swing trigger short point. Okay, swing trigger short point. So we're going to have to go and pay attention to that. So what we're going to do is come back to where we are. So guys, so again, put some labels on. So the pre-bottom, guys, the pre-bottom equals a 60-minute chart STS, so 60-minute chart swing trigger short. So let's take note of that one. We're going to take note, guys, of that low point here. All right, so just put some labels on the chart so we can bring these guys into context. It was 24,300. So the 24,300 is no doubt, guys, a very, very key 4-hour low point. Very key 4-hour low point. What we're going to do, guys, drop down to the 60-minute chart. We know about this. I'm just looking for key 60-minute highs and lows. There's a key 60-minute low at 325. So 325 is up here. 325 is there. Okay, now, as the reason we mark this up is because as small chart, large chart combination traders, right, typically the 5, the 15, and the 60 is a really, really good combination of charts. Okay, so key 60. Okay, key 60-minute point. Whoops, couple of typos on here. Let me fix those. I love detail. I love detail, and if something is not quite right, it just doesn't float my boat. Right, so 90 seconds or so till the gun goes. Guys, let me check the 15-minute chart for you. Now, this will obviously influence everybody. 1, 2, 3. These guys are in a 15-minute chart swing trigger long. So you can see AB with the anticipation of C. So I'm thinking, guys and girls, I'm thinking at this point in time, I'm thinking that we might buy first before selling. Right, so, whoops, let me just bring that back to normal. We'll drop down to our 5-minute chart. I'm going to have to use a dominant candle extension, guys, on this one. So we're going to run an extension up the dominant candle here back to the retrace to try and pick up where these guys may push to on the opening candle and fail. As in, I would keep a very, very close eye over there on the left-hand side. Keep a very close eye on that static bar reversal short. Okay, absolutely beautiful position. Now, as I do that, guys, I'm going to run in, grab a couple of, let me grab a couple of additional microphones. So Andy, your mic is on. Andy, your mic is on. So I'm going to look for young Damsey. So if the boys or girls in the background see anything that they want to, see anything that they want to comment on, they'll jump on and correct me. There's obviously a lot going on this European Open. Okay, so as we roll into the Open, for those that love rules, wow, they're moving quick. So we're looking for a color change in the candle, which we've just got. It's a little bit early for me to pick up that static bar reversal. Otherwise, I would already be short. So I followed the algorithm, guys, of that opening candle very, very, very carefully. All right. So at this stage, guys, the buyers obviously own the stair step. Guys, they've pushed up quite nicely. Now they're starting to run out of steam. So again, if we are going to sell, the opening candle of the FDAX, we need these guys to push up, fail very, very badly. And please understand, there is no compulsion to trading the opening candle, right? So you don't have to trade the opening candle to do well out of the game of trading. Now we have rolled through to the 133 fib extension, right? So we have rolled through to the 133 fib. So for those that do trade off the 133 fib, guys, please make sure you're controlling your risk quickly and letting your profit run. Guys, I am short on the trade. So I'm short on the trade. All right, and we just got to be very, very careful on this opening candle, guys, that this market doesn't go absolutely ballistic to the high side. So just be very, very careful. Whoops, sorry, FDAX has gone off the screen. For those that do trade a pre-market box reversal on the opening candle, you are picking up an entry. Guys, there's no question about that. Just be very careful, guys, on the FDAX on the opening candle, please. So be very, very careful on the opening candle. Again, we are looking for shorts at this point in time, guys, under that 133 extension or under the pre-market box. Your volatility at this point in time, as you would be suggesting, a 5-point target, guys, or a 10-point target. And as I've said many times, please don't let me romance you into taking trades on the opening candle of the FDAX. It can be a little bit crazy. All right, the short point on the FDAX is at 284. Now, everybody that trades the opening candle, you know exactly how to trade that. Okay, so let's just be very, very careful. Okay, let's just watch what these guys are doing. And we're about 3 minutes, guys. At this stage, we're 3 minutes into the session. I always like to pick up the trades, guys, very, very early on. So in the first 90 or so seconds, I don't mind a trade, guys, in up into the last 90 seconds. I certainly wouldn't be entering a trade, particularly on the FDAX, particularly in the last 90 seconds. Guys, we just got to be very careful we don't get caught on the wrong side of it. Okay, now at this stage, we're looking for the FDAX ideally to sell down to around about the open or the 50 fib of the day. As these buyers initially look to be running out of steam, but we do have to keep a very close eye, guys, on the FESX. As if it closes outside the pre-market box, we're going to have to be very, very careful about selling the FDAX short. Oh, Dan, well done. If you're off the 161, you've done very, very well. In fact, there will be additional Fibonacci here as well. So at this stage, as for the FDAX, we are looking at this stage for no additional trades. If they close outside the pre-market box, that is a very, very strong sign that these guys are going to fly in the opposite direction. All right, so let's be very, very careful on the FDAX for the FDAX traders. For everybody else, guys, these are really, really strong buying candles. So we have to be very, very careful. If these guys do decide to close those 60-minute patterns, particularly with the Asian high on the S&P 500, we need to be very, very careful we don't get on the wrong side of this market. Okay, so we'll just wait for the FDAX to decide what it's going to do. Okay, at this stage for the FDAX, guys, the only trade we may have is a climactic reversal, I'd just be very, very careful. I was very, very careful on FDAX that these guys don't decide they're going to bolt to the high side. If you do want a climactic reversal, guys, you're looking for an entry at the 295 mark. So 295. And ultimately, we would be looking to try and push that all the way back down, all the way back down to at least the pre-top. So at least the pre-top, if not further than that. If we do get renewed buying on the FDAX, again, we're going to have to look at the long range. We're going to have to look at the long range sort of target implication of that. In fact, if for the FDAX, if we do get much beyond this key low point that we identified before, if they're not going to sell off that low point, as we may find that we end up buying for the majority of the day. Right, so let's be very careful on FDAX. I'm just keeping an eye, guys, on what we're doing because the buyers are certainly trying. The buyers are certainly trying. At this stage, I'm not going to buy into the buy, guys. I don't have a valid signal on FDAX at this stage, so I'm not buying into the buying campaign. What I do need to do at this point in time is just make sure, guys, that we're not going to sell into the market too prematurely. Okay, just watching what everybody's doing. I've got no new trades, guys. I've got no new trades at this point in time. Okay, Louis, short on the ES. Yeah, make me short off the higher Fibonacci's, mate, which could actually be good. So I hope you're absolutely amazing. Okay, so at this stage, for the DAX traders, I've got no new entries for everybody right across the board. Let's just wait and see if these sellers, you can see the failure on the NASDAQ at the Asian high. For those that are looking for climactic reversals on FDAX, again, you've got the 295 entry. If you're being a little bit careful, guys, about that entry, wait for a static candle. So wait for these guys to actually close the selling candle there on the FDAX before we look to trade that climactic reversal. I'm noticing, guys, that the FESX has clearly moved above its pre-top. This might mean, again, unless they get caught at Fibonacci, we could see a pretty heavy buying campaign coming in. Gaps to close down. Let me just double check here. Okay. So we'll wait for very, very clear signals. As what would be lovely if the sellers were able to turn the FDAX around and close back inside its pre-market top. If we were to do that, we might actually end up with a nice little sell signal. The sellers are going to have to do a lot of work to achieve that, and we want to obviously stay behind that key or stay below that key 4-hour low point that we identified before. Now we'll just see what they've got. All right, let's just watch very, very carefully here. All right, if I go quiet, guys, it's because I'm sipping on water or just making sure that I'm reading the market well. That would be the ultimate. Goal of what we're doing. So buyers are trying here, guys, on the European market. Certainly the FDAX, they're trying. The buying's not going very well for them. However, we do have an FESX that's going a little bit free range. Right? So this is going to have an effect on the FDAX traders. Now, for the NASDAQ, I do potentially, I do potentially have a bit of a trade. The problem with the NASDAQ, guys, is we're now over the top of the Asian high. All right, so we are now over the top of the Asian high. What does that effectively mean? We're not going to take a short until we get back under the Asian high. For the FTX traders, the higher high could fuel a static bar reversal short. So we could fuel a static bar reversal short. You just want to make sure, guys, on the FTX at this point, if we do fuel a bit of a short, I would suggest an entry on the static bar reversal at 89. You've got a pivot at 85, which means that the target and risk control point is a little bit too close. So again, we might be looking at the climactic reversal entry at 295. That does create a little bit more room to control your risk before the pre-top. Understanding that if this is the best that the FTX traders, if this is the best the FTX traders can do, then we could get a sell down for the static traders on FTX, as your entry is too close to a pivot. For the dynamic traders, you may be happy with at this stage you might be happy with your entry. Let me just see what they're doing. Okay, this one here. Okay. So FTX at this stage, guys, Lorna, how are you? No clear guidance yet on what the FTX traders want to do. It looks like the climactic reversal is potentially going to hold. So again, please watch your targets. So please watch your targets. The reason being is that we want to make sure that if I say watch your target and your risk control point, a 5-point target and risk control point works very, very well on the FTX. We're just waiting for the sellers to actually determine whether they're in control of the market. If so, the sells should, depending on what the other guys are doing around the world, should actually start to show themselves. Yeah, so the FESX, this is the problem we've got on the FTX at the moment. Guys, the FESX disagrees with the FTX. Now, the FESX normally works. The FESX, I should say, normally wins. So what we're looking for is permission to sell the FTX, guys, permission to sell the FTX primarily from the FESX, because the FTX is generally not going to go by itself. Guys, it will not go by itself. It will wait for the guidance from the FESX. So just refreshing, guys, static bar reversal, too much risk. Sorry, not too much risk, too close to a pivot in order to control your risk. You could control your risk early if you wanted to. At this point in time, I wouldn't recommend that. I'd just wait for a really, really clean pattern. There's a really, really solid little pattern here. And then we might find that the Europeans give us clear guidance. For the NASI and S&P 500 traders, at this point in time, as we are now above the Asian high. So we are above the Asian high. That means that, again, for me to sell you down, I need to get back below the Asian high on both US markets. Now, the buyers are not really impressive. The buyers are not really impressive anywhere, but it's not going to take much for these guys to get above key levels and start buying. Okay, so we're going to be very careful. Today is a little bit more difficult than yesterday, guys. So yesterday, by this point in time on the FTX, we were up at least 2 or 3 really good trades. So for the FTX traders, we're just going to have to be very, very careful today that we don't get romanced into a silly trade. Now, at the moment, guys, I've got the NASDAQ, guys, and the S&P 500 are going to produce quite strong, efficient candles to the high side. Now, I see no pivot failures coming on the NASDAQ, guys. I see no pivot failures coming on the S&P 500 for some time. So that's what we've got to be very 15-minute close. Yes. So for the 15-minute chart at this point in time, these buyers are really, really strong. These guys are really, really strong on very, very strong on the 15-minute close. If the 15-minute close takes them above the Asian high, which is this little purple here, we're going to have to be very, 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 very careful about sending these guys. Very, very careful, guys, about sending you short until these guys definitely know what they're up to. Now, for the FDAX traders, at this stage, guys, we're trying to pick up very, very long range shorts. So we're trying to pick up very, very long range shorts. Ideally, what we're looking for is the buyers on the European markets to say, you know what, I'm completely done now, off we go. Now, if you guys are short at 295, which we spoke about, the climactic reversal, as much as that's tried to move towards our stop loss, it hasn't got anywhere near the stop loss, and it's obviously just dropped through the first target. Now, again, if you are short on the FDAX and you are trying to hold for longer range targets, guys, if that is you and you are trying to hold for a longer range target, guys, you would be looking to try and hold down to the 50 fib of the day. Now, the flip side, guys, for the FDAX traders, if you are short at 295, so if you are short at 295, it's already gone through a 5-point target and a 10-point target. Your volatility would suggest, guys, that you would control your risk when that occurs to make sure you can't lose any risk on the trade. Okay, just be careful. Just be super, super careful on the FDAX. Now, okay, let's just watch these guys very, very, very carefully. All right, so a lower low, guys. So the FDAX, again, for the static bar reversal traders, we spoke about be very, very careful of the pre-top. At this stage, guys, the lower low may bring a swing trigger into the market. So we might see a little bit more buying come into the FDAX. As you can see, these buyers starting to move through now. I won't give you a swing trigger, guys, at this point in time. We're just going to do what we normally do on the FDAX and make sure we don't get into silly trades. All right, now sellers are obviously coming in, guys, off that 195 climactic level there. So some of you may be trying to go for longer range targets. Guys, if you are going to try and go for a longer range target, I do want you to try and extend that out, guys, as far as you possibly can. Try and pick up a really, really good trade. It's a really good trade. For the NASDAQ, guys, and the S&P 500 traders, again, if we get 4-point turning bars, then absolutely brilliant. If I've got any FDAX traders that are short, guys, I want you to try and hold the short to 2 points above the 50% of the day, guys. So a target of, let's say, 273 or 272 is a really good FDAX target for anybody that is short from the top. So if you are short from the top, if these sellers do continue to move down, guys, I've personally got a target on the screen, 2 contracts at 273. I've just been taken out, guys, at 273 with my reversal. Guys, let me show you my results, please. I just want to be transparent with everybody. That's what I'm currently sitting at the moment. 436, 116, 383, 325, 383, 499. Love the last one. So if anybody's short, guys, on the climactic reversal, I wanted you to trade to the 50 fib, please. I got out at exactly 7.3. If you are short to the 50 fib of the day, massive well done, FDAX traders. Okay, massive well done, FDAX traders. Now, that being said, everyone else, you are now on vogue. Everyone else is on vogue. So well done, guys. Tried holding but got ATM. Andy had. So well done on all the FDAX traders. Guys, I used that longer range ATM that I just spoke to you guys about yesterday, trying to pick up larger trades. One of my ATMs has been taken out. The other ones weren't taken out. All right. So again, it's not a great deal of money, guys. 500, 800, 1200. It's 2,000 US. But again, we're only 20 minutes into the session, which is not a bad little start. Now, what we've got, guys, is a really, really lovely short setting up right across the board. All right, really lovely short setting up. For the FDAX traders, okay, you can see my target zone, guys, was just above the 50 fib. All right, just above the 50 fib. This is why, guys, this is why. So what we're looking for now is understanding that the sellers now own the stair step. All right, so we had low point, high point, low point. We're now looking for buying-based reversals, or for those people that are like for the Nathans of the world and the Louis of the world, you're going to try and hold your short as long as you possibly can, please. Now, FDAX traders, at this point in time, if you are short, I want you to hold short, please, until the gap close. So FDAX, if you're short, guys, please try and hold all the way down here if you're short. For everybody else, we're waiting for a signal. Now, that is a valid, guys, that's a valid NASDAQ sell signal here with way too much risk for the majority of traders. If you are an aggressive NASDAQ trader, you may have picked up the red diamond delta short here, here, or here. If you've taken those trades, guys, they've obviously gone really, really well. All right, now we're back into, guys, we're back into the territory of the trades that we we're talking about when we came in. So for the S&P 500 traders, if you get any kind of buying retrace, guys, you're looking to try and go short here. Okay, that little candle there, that little green candle there for the S&P 500 traders, because they failed at the Asian high, you have got a static bar reversal short. Right? So I know Louis is short. Have I got any other S&P 500 traders that are short? Oh, FDAX. Do I have any FDAX traders, guys, that are still short holding for long range targets, please? Man, my 50 fib target now looks really silly. Dear, it makes me look like a turkey. For the FDAX, you are picking up a long, guys, a short range long on the FDAX, 2 points above the previous pivot, guys, at 252. If you are going to go long at 252, guys, your first target is 257, please. First target is 257. Now, that is only for those people that are not short and want to pick up a short range long. Right? Now, that is a pivot-based reversal. You're looking for the sellers to push down, obviously steal the stair step, turn around, fill a buy order at 252, guys, and run to 257 as your first target. Okay, now they're very jumpy. So long range short traders, you are still short. Guys, you are still short. For the junior traders, please wait for the candle to close before you take a signal, because if these guys want to tank, we've got to be very careful about going long, guys, against them. The signal over the top of the previous pivot is valid, guys, but it looks like they're going to push in the wrong direction for that signal. Okay, so so I'll just reframe, guys. If you've gone long over the top of the previous pivot, guys, if that is your signal, that's going to get very, very close to a negative trade. Very close to a negative. If you are still short from the double static bar reversals at the top of the FDAX, you've done incredibly well. There is no question about that. We did say in our pre-brief, guys, we're probably going to get a little buy followed by a big sell. So we're at the moment, we're staring down the barrel of that big sell. NASDAQ traders, anybody that is short, as you may have waited for the retrace and then you may have picked up that static bar reversal short, or you've waited for the retrace and you're short under this candle. If you are short anywhere on the NASDAQ, guys, or the S&P 500, we want to hold for long range targets, please. Now, that might mean holding your trade for 15 to 20 minutes. This might mean that. There's nothing wrong with holding these trades. For the S&P, you would try and hold your trade all the way down to the previous pivot. For the NASDAQ traders, you're going to try and hold your trade all the way down to the previous pivot. Man, I wish I was still short on the FDAX. That's annoying. All right, so anybody that is short on the FDAX, I want you to hold the trade for a full 15 minutes, please. A full 15 minutes. So you've been entered on the static bar reversal. So you got you've got one candle to go, please. All right, so 1 5-minute candle to go. You guys are going to hold through to the 30-minute chart close. Wow, look at this. We said a little buy followed by a massive sell. Oh man! I got my 50 fib target wrong. Otherwise, I'd be up a couple of grand on every account. Deary me is all I can say. All right, moving on. Anybody short on the NASDAQ, guys? Anybody short on the NASDAQ? I would suggest a 20 tick first target, and then basically a previous pivot second target. Stephen H, where would you suggest, Louis, where would you suggest a good target zone for the long range traders are? I'm thinking I want to hold the NASDAQ traders short as long as we can. guys, and the S&P traders short as long as we can. All right, so here's the challenge, guys. Here's the challenge. 24,800, perfect. As for the Nazi traders who are short, guys, Nazi traders who are short, right, this here will be a 60-minute chart static bar reversal short. If we can get below the bottom of this candle here, that purple little fib there, if we get below that, we want to try and hold the short to the end of the hour. All right, so we want to hold the short for at least another 35 minutes. If we can break that purple line and hold below it. All right, so that's the goal for you guys, is to break below that purple line. Like that's the goal. Guys, that's the goal, to break below the purple line. And see, guys, let's see if we can get this thing lower, low to go higher. Yeah. So guys, look, for the Nazi traders who are short, I know we've got traders that are short on the S&P for long range targets. NASDAQ, we've got short for long range. FDAX, I know I've got some of you. Is Nathan with us today, and is Nathan short for long range targets, please? Again, for the FDAX traders, you're just going to hold until we get a counter signal to go back the other way. NASDAQ, if I was being very careful on the NASDAQ, guys, I'd be looking at a 20-tick first target. All right, so let me draw it on the screen for you. I'd look at a 20-tick first target, which will, let's say you're on that delta there. I look for a 20-tick first target. So we're targeting that little red diamond delta just here. Okay, so you're on that one there. You've got a 20-tick first target. Then I'd look for a 100-tick second target, simply because the market's quite volatile. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so that's a 100-tick box. Guys, I'd be looking for 20s and 100s and whatever you can get your hands on. So that means we're just going to stay short until 24,800 that Louis suggests, guys. Okay, so with all of that said, if you're short on the delta, guys, or you might be short on the big efficient candle after the retrace and the rejection, guys, let me show you. The 3 strength rating, guys, above that candle means that these guys, if the buyers retrace back and come back down, it's going to be pretty impressive. If we do get stuck above the previous pivot for the NASDAQ traders, so there's our PP, guys, if we do hit my little black line here and start getting rejected, all that means is I would make sure that if I'm going for a 100-tick target, I would make sure I've locked in a big chunk of profit. That's all that means. So S&P traders, right? S&P traders, you've effectively picked up that little short there off the top of the Asian high. NASDAQers, if you were really good, guys, you've picked up that, probably that delta there, or this little candle here. Now, interesting point. Wait for the back under the 5-minute 200 EMA 20091. Okay. So what I would suggest at this stage, guys, anybody that is short, if you're short on the deltas or the efficient candles, you've basically locked in a large chunk of profit. What we're now doing, guys, is we're now bouncing off the Fibonacci's to see if these guys are going to go back the other way. The Remis of the world may have gone long, guys, on that black diamond delta going the other way. FDAX traders, you're getting ready for a ratio-based static bar reversal. Jiz, well done. Let me update my fibs for you, guys, because I'll get rid of that other one at this stage as well. Let's get rid of that. All right, for the 5-minute chart traders, guys, it looks like that delta is feeding off a short range Fibonacci. Okay, so let me just show you the fibs. We're going to draw a fib up to catch them on the way down. Oh, my lordy, look at that. So anybody that's gone long off the 76 Fibonacci's, I do apologize. I was slow putting them on. Anyone that's gone long on the 76 fibs, guys, that black diamond delta, which is exactly, look at this, exactly the 66 Fibonacci, has given you an opportunity to, once again, if you've gone short and made profit, you've got an opportunity to go long again and send them back the other way because of this Fibonacci failure. Now, it didn't go as far as what I wanted it to, guys. It got 99 ticks towards a 100-tick target. Of course it did. Point being, though, is if you trade off these 76 fibs, like a number of you do, because you're very good at what you do, you might have picked up this fib. You might have picked up that delta. All right, now, we could be about to pick up a static bar reversal long on the NASDAQ. Just be very clear, guys, the middle of the MDI. Here, the middle of the MDI will be a very, very strong resistance level. So I would suggest we're better off not going long again because of the MDI. We're better off waiting for a sell down and off we go again. Louis, you got 15 times 10, 40, 34 times 5. Well done, mate. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, sorry guys, bit of a lazy start. Then it's gone a bit shotgun on us. Anybody that's long on this delta here, if you're a black diamond delta trader, you're going to go for a 20 tick target. You're then going to cut all of your risk and try and get it to run. You know that there is a very, very strong resistance level in the market just here. Okay, and then we might be looking for a swing trigger short. FDAX traders, at this point in time, guys, the risk on your potential reversal, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, the risk is too much for the majority of traders to take. So we can't go long on the FDAX. Is anyone still short on the FDAX? Right? I know Nathan's gone short, guys, from the top of the chart. So if anyone is still short, guys, I want you to hold the short until we get a confirmed long. Right, so please, and at this point in time, we don't have a confirmed long, so please try and hold short. That would be amazing. And my lordy, guys, if I was still short on the FDAX, which you guys know I'm not, guys, I got ATM'd on that one. My stop loss would be sitting right here on the FDAX. I was right there on the FDAX at 225. What this does show us today, guys and girls, what this does show us is the strength of the climactic reversal. Guys, so opening candle, push through to Fibonacci, waited for the higher high, we put a sell order on, waited for these guys to push through, we confirm the sell order, and look at the market's response. Like, this is huge. So once again, the climactic or extreme volume reversal traders on FDAX have nailed their targets again. It sounds a lot like yesterday, and the day before, and the day before. We sound very, very boring, guys, but it's a good boring. It's a good boring. So at this stage, guys, I'm not sending you long on the NASDAQ unless, of course, you are already long from the Black Diamond Delta, right? So those people that picked up the Black Diamond Delta, your Fibonacci basic traders, so you've had these guys cruise down, fail at the 76s, turn around, all the institutional buying came in at that Black Diamond, and you've pumped the other way. All right, now, again, targets for that one, guys, I'd be looking for a 20. I'd cut off all of my risk on my long ranges. You can go maybe 20, 50 or something along those lines. But there's your 20 tick target. So what does it ultimately mean? You've let it go $100 in your favor. You've pulled some money out of the market and you've tried to go for a 20 and a 50 tick target, which is 1, 2, 3. The 50 tick target is just there, guys. So interesting point. Just before the middle of the trend indicator, you've run straight into a potential 50 tick target. Now, if these guys fail, as Steve was saying, guys, if they fail at the 25091 level, we're going to pick up a swing trigger short. The sell could even be more aggressive. FDAX traders, the red diamond delta short, this one just here, after they pushed the buyers up and failed badly, some of you may have gone short on that red diamond delta. Guys, just based on the momentum of the market, just be super clear if you've gone short, guys, already on that trade at 189. Guys, you would look for a 184 first target, and then you're actually going to try and push it down, guys, to probably these pink 50s all the way down here, or the 50 fib on the 4-hour chart, actually. For new traders, the risk on that delta, guys, is a little bit too big. Short off the point. Yeah, well done, Suzanne. Yeah, well done. All right. So for those messaging me in the background, you're 100% correct. Now at this stage, guys, let's do a bit of a rebuild on the FDAX. So we did say we thought they were going to buy first before they sold hard. Right. So we've got the sell hard coming. We need to switch this fib around, guys. So that Fibonacci's worked perfectly for us now. We're going to switch him around the other way. Guys, let me just double check that's correct. Yes. So, guys, on the FDAX, we spoke about a 60-minute chart swing trigger short. Right. So that's exactly what we're in at this point in time. A 60-minute chart swing trigger short. We spoke about, guys, the AB anticipation, the C. We spoke about stair step with the trend. Guys, that's exactly what has just occurred. Exactly what's just occurred. Now, again, for those static traders, so those people on the FDAX that are literally just getting their training wheels on, we're looking for a static trade on both the European market simultaneously. Okay, looking for, let's have a look here. S&P's failure at the Asian high, even though the NASDAQ got above the Asian high, so note this, even though these guys got above the Asian high, the S&P couldn't, and that's what's actually dragged the NASDAQ down is this Asian high failure. It's a really cool little reference point for the NASDAQ traders. Yeah, geez, look, the FTX trade, mate, FTX has been really good for, mate, probably 4 to 5 years. It's got a lot easier to trade in the last 2 to 3 years. We've just got to be respectful, guys, of the FTX. Got to be respectful of the risk. The only time people get unstuck on the FTX is when they take a silly risk trade. And the way to navigate around that is naturally pick up reversals. So pick up a reversal trade with low risk, massive potential reward, and just let the market bolt. I mean that's really what we should focus on. Now at this stage, new signals. Guys, let me just get rid of some of the stuff on my chart. Okay, get rid of that. So at this stage, the only signals we've got, guys, on the NASDAQ, okay, if you can hold the risk underneath this big candle here, that's gone well. Again, if you're quite aggressive, you picked up, sorry, I've moved the circle, you picked up these deltas coming through, or you waited for these guys to retrace, you picked up that delta short, trying to run it down to the previous pivot. That's obviously gone okay. For those that trade off Fibonacci, you've picked up the black diamond delta going back the other way with the 76 fib failure. So well done. Sophia, how are you? Hope you're fantastic. Sophia, if we were at this point in time, if we were to buy the market very hard, we're going to pick up more selling. So we're going to pick up more selling in the market. The flip side is I think we're actually going to end up with swing triggers short. So we're going to, so to answer your question, Sophia, we're going to pick up swing triggers. That's probably the next trade. So what's going to happen is these buyers are going to try and push in. They're going to fail at key market levels. They're literally going to give us a tiny little candle like that one right now on the NASDAQ. And all the buyers are going to go, oh, you know what, we've lost control. And then they're going to turn it around and they're going to send it back down again. When they send it back down again, if we don't create a brand new lower low, we're going to pick up what we call a second tier reversal. The moment we get a second tier reversal, these guys will probably turn around, go back through the Asian high and keep going again. Right. So this session is a long way from over at this point in time. A long way from over. Guys, speaking of that, I'm running basically a masterclass for beginner traders again tonight, guys. It's part number 2. Does anybody want the link for that, guys? It's going to be running after this session, so 30 minutes after the LTR finishes. It's going to be running for about an hour. We're talking about smaller chart, larger chart combination trading. So if anybody does not have the link for that, okay, if you don't have the link for that, I'll go and get the link for you. Guys, we're not going to chase you. We're not going to harass you. We're not going to do anything. We just don't do that. So if you want the link, guys, I'll send it through to you and you can have a play. Now at this stage, guys, I've got no new trades on the NASDAQ. Okay, the only traders I've got that are long on the NASDAQ is those people that trade off the Fibonacci. Those people that miss the Fibonacci trade, you may have picked up that black diamond delta. If you are long on the delta, guys, my advice would be a 20 tick first target, a 50 tick second target. Let me show you what that looks like. So again, it's $250. 1, 2, 3. So that would be your 50 tick second target. Right? So you'd be out with 20s. You'd be out with 50s. So out with 20s, you'd be out with 50s. If you're still long, you'd be trying to hold it for 100, 150, 200. But promise me, please, guys and girls, promise me, you've got no risk on that long. Because if these guys fail to really ramp up buying, they're going to sell on the 15-minute chart. We're going to end up with a swing trigger. And as a result, you're going to go, man, why did I let them come all the way back down to my entry point? That doesn't make sense. Okay, so what have I got? Boom, boom. Now we are gearing up for swing triggers. So let me just have a quick look. Okay, now this is only if you trade a swing trigger. FDAX, again, at this point in time, you guys are holding short, or you're going to try and pick up that Delta V2 short, only for those people that can hold the risk. That's a very ugly swing trigger, guys. Very ugly swing trigger. Now, again, just a little tip on swing triggers. You do not want to trade a swing trigger short into the 50 fib of the micro trend, which looks like that. Guys, this means that we don't have enough room on the NASDAQ to control our risk before we get to an area of concern. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm not going to send you short on the NASDAQ on a swing trigger. For those that don't know what that is, guys, it's an A, B, and then we've got the anticipation of C. Right now, we're in the anticipation phase on NASDAQ. I would suggest, because of that 50 fib, guys, these sellers are probably going to fail relatively quickly, meaning that those people, guys, if we get a sell down on the NASDAQ, guys, if we get a sell down here, you can try and pick up that black diamond delta. If this sell down doesn't go very far, you can pick up that black diamond delta there. Okay, now, if you are going to take the delta long, guys, even that little higher black diamond delta, please have tight risk control, early first targets, and then try and let it run again. Right? It's the same drill over and over again. So, interesting point with the swing trigger. Guys, I can't send you short because of the 50 fib of the micro trend. Now, at this point in time, that 50 fib has caught them really nicely. That means some of you may have said, well, Lockie, if I can't go short, I'm going to go long. Now, there is a black diamond entry just there. Guys, please, 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 that's the wrong box. You would make sure that you're only looking for 20 tick targets, please. All right, so there's a 20 tick box. Ideally, guys, they've sold back down. They've picked up your buy order. You want them to punch like that. They've just punched through the 20 tick box again. If you're on the higher black diamond delta, which is that one there, you're going to apply the same principle and you're going to go for 20 again. Now, if you're on that higher one, guys, once you move around 16, 17 ticks towards a 20 tick target, please make sure you got no risk on the trade. Really important, if you're on this, with that black diamond delta there, guys, you're looking to push through a 20 tick target. Come on, NASDAQ, right. You've just gone 21 ticks towards, now you've gone way over your 20 tick target. If anyone's long on NASDAQ, guys, 20 tick first target, put the $100 in the bank, please, and then go for a second larger target. If you're not long, we'll look for another trade for you. All right, so at this stage, I may have traders long on the NASDAQ from this delta here, that delta there, or that delta there. Either way, every person has gone through their 20 tick first target. Everybody's now controlled their risk. No one can lose any money on any trades, please. Really important. No one can lose any money, please. Great. So, sound like a broken record, don't I? Today, guys, at this point in time, the long range profit targets are going to be shorts, not longs. Okay, we did talk about that before. I'm going to give you the link for tonight's webinar, guys. So it starts 30 minutes, please, after this session finishes. It will be recorded. If you are a member of Samurai, guys, it's going to be put in your masterclass library. If you're not a member of Samurai, guys, all you need to do is become a member of Samurai, and then you can access the masterclass library and you can delve a little bit deeper into ultimately what we do. Okay, so at this stage, NASDAQ traders, you may have picked up the delta early if you are a Fibonacci trader. You may have picked up that delta there, guys, if you didn't mind trading to the middle of the MDI with a 20 tick target. Sellers have sold down again. Please note, we cannot assume a close over the 50 fib of the micro trend. We can't go short. We can only go long. It's produced that delta there. So if we did ignore that rule, guys, on a swing trigger, we would have just been stopped out. All right, we don't like getting stopped out on trades. So, guys, that's that again, if you want to be a swing trigger trader, that 50% of the micro trend rule is really important. Now, what's just occurred, guys, on the S&P, these guys have sold down. They've given us this little static bar reversal here. Guys, the sellers have sold back down, reloaded that static bar reversal. So I may have some S&P 500 traders long, guys, just over the top of this candle here at 44.25. Daniel, we don't have a tier 2 reversal just yet. Right, so what we need over here on the FDAX, So what have we got? One. So it's that. Yeah. So there's no tier two reversal yet, right? Because that's just one massive selling campaign. All right. Now the fact that we've got a lower low here means they're starting to think about reversing the market. So what it means for the FDAX traders? Yeah. So no tier two just yet. Right? I mean that's the penultimate of trades, isn't it? For the FDAX traders, the best long at this point in time, guys, is at 215. Now, if you're going to trade long at 215, guys, you must be prepared to hold around 30 points of risk. That black diamond delta, guys, is at 214. That's leading into that 215 entry. As just promised me, if you're going to go long, guys, on the FDAX, all right, you've got a 5-point first target, guys, and then you're going to cut your risk off, and then you're going to try and let it run all the way back to the pre-bottom. Okay, Jurgen, nice work. +5 on FDAX, mate. Beautiful trade. FDAX traders, just be aware, guys, your volatility is dropping. So therefore, the expectation of massive targets, we're not going to probably get those massive targets at this stage. What we've got to be careful of on FDAX, guys, is to go long at this point in time means carrying risk that many of you can't take. Right, so don't be surprised if we'll get a little bit of buying here, guys. We'll get a little bit of buying. Point being is if you're waiting for like a really, really heavy reversal, like a really sexy reversal, that will probably occur on the turn of the hour, guys, at this stage. So the buying delta is valid, guys, if you can hold 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 points of risk. Me personally, guys, I can't hold more than 25 points of risk. So I have to wait for another trade. That is my personal rule. These guys are highly likely to buy, but at this point in time, guys, I just don't want to get, I don't want you guys to get into the habit of getting into trades with too much risk. Only being is if we have a loss, it just takes time to get it back. That's the only reason that is an issue. At the moment, guys, the buyers on the FDAX are twice as strong as they were on the previous candle. So if you have gone long, there's no reason why these guys aren't going to push through. They're just going to take some time. Oh, look at that. The moment I say push through, come on, little boo-boo, go, 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 go. Anybody long at 219, you're at, 214, which is the delta. You've just tagged your 5-point target. Now you've paid your 5-point target. Well done. If anybody is long on the black diamond delta on FDAX, 5-point first target. Cut your risk off. If it runs, guys, we'll go for a massive target. If it doesn't run, it doesn't matter because you can't lose any money. Really, really, really important. Okay, really important. All right, so anyone long on FDAX, guys? Okay, MJ, perfect. Have I got anybody long on FDAX? Now, the reason being, yes, well done, mate. So, Andy, what we've done is this delta is a reasonable ratio SBR, but the delta there has pushed us into a high ratio SBR. So these guys, mate, from the delta are probably going to push to the pre-bottom, just there minus some loose change. So again, mate, if I was long, I'd be long for 5s and 10s and 25s, and I would have just had my trailing stop taken out positive. So well done, mate, well done. Okay, now, guys, S&P 500 is looking dangerously short. Okay, it's looking dangerously short. And, guys, as much as the FDAX gave us a little bit of a push off that delta, so that's where all the banks are buying the FDAX, guys, right there. I think they're going to have another crack at it, guys, because they won't be happy with that result so far. Now, we're happy because it's gone through our first and second target. They won't be happy at all, guys. And I'll tell you who's going to get really angry at those buyers, the sellers. All right, so let's just watch what they do. We are 49 minutes, guys. 49 minutes into the first hour for the S&P 500 traders, guys. For those that enter statically, you've only had 2 trades today: static bar reversal short. You've had a static bar reversal long. Both of those trades have gone way beyond their targets, right? So the S&P traders who are quite experienced, you guys are obviously doing very well. What have we got here? NASDAQ traders, again, we didn't get the Asian high trade that we wanted, but the S&P went and the NASDAQ went in sympathy. So the NASDAQ traders, depending on how you trade, guys, you could have picked up those red diamond delta shorts. Okay, brilliant. Or you could have waited for this candle, okay, which is the retrace and the rejection. That's the one that Akito got on here, guys, in the office. Those guys sold down. We wanted to go, guys, for up to 100 tick target. Again, from the bottom of the candle, it only went around about 70 ticks in our favor. The reason the NASDAQ got caught is the S&P hit its pivots. Right, so that's the reason the NASDAQ got caught down the bottom here. Great lesson. If you're trading the NASDAQ, make sure you look at the S&P. What then occurred is the S&P said, I'm going to set up an 8-rated, let's look at this, an 8-rated static bar reversal long. What does that mean? That both US markets are going to reverse quite nicely. What has the NASDAQ done? Potentially produced 3 entries, depending on how you trade. And those 3 entries have all gone beyond the 20-tick target. Andy, well done. Well done, well done. Daniel, we've now got a lower low, so now we're setting up a second-tier reversal over here on FDAX. Right, now, I note with interest, as everybody note, the FESX, all right, does not agree with the FDAX at all. All right, so normally when these guys don't agree with each other, okay, FESX wants to stair-step up, DAX is stair-stepping down. The FDAX normally loses this battle, guys, normally loses. So we are staring down the barrel of a really nice long-range reversal on FDAX. Okay, now for a second-tier reversal, guys, to hold here, this candle's got to close. All right, so there's no reversing just yet. All right, just let these guys close. We're going to diagnose what they're going to do for us because this will be 5 minutes before the potential hourly turn. All right, so 5 minutes before the hourly turn. This is, for those that are not aware, guys, this is the Widowmaker candle. This is where people make mistakes and they give back all of their profit from the trading session because they think the market is running without them. Right? So just be very careful. Hey, guys, great lesson on this delta. Look at this. We went long on the delta. We wanted to go for a 5-point first target, a 10-point second target. It's gone exactly 13 points to the 10-point target and then come down and triggered all of our risk control, but it was all positive. So we've had 2 great lessons today, guys. When you're reversing against a strong current, make sure you've got an early first target, tight risk control. The other lesson, guys, today is when you're taking a swing trigger, don't trade in the 50 fib of the micro trend. If we had have done that today, guys, we would have had a loss on the NASDAQ as opposed to picking up a win going back the other way, which is right there. So, guys, if anybody wants me to take you through these rules, if anyone's like, okay, Lockie, I need the rules, come to the webinar tonight. Guys, we're not going to chase you. We're not going to harass you. We don't do that. Come into the masterclass, guys. I'm going to run through some of the basic rules if you want me to, because these rules have not changed since 2009. Guys, we're very boring. very, very, very boring people. But I'd ask you guys, as we head into the last candle of the hour, what is the advantage of being boring? Guys, you tell me, why in the game of trading do we want to be boring? Guys, why do we want to be boring? What is the advantage of boring? Other than as nothing changes. Nothing changes. So it's the same signals, same indicators. The indicators have been updated and fine-tuned. There's no question about that, guys. We have, I think, probably the best indicators in the world. But my point being is they've been fine-tuned now for 17 years. I'm not surprised. They're actually working okay. Pete, you've nailed it. Sophia, you've nailed it. Jiz, everyone, guys, anyone that says anything about we want consistency of performance, we don't like surprises, we don't like losing trades, we want to run at 100% success rate. Anybody targeting, guys, anything like that, 100% success rate is not about bragging rights. You're not saying, oh, I'm better than you. The reason you want 100% strike rate, guys, or as close to it as possible, is it's very, very easy to build a positive psychology around trading if you're getting reasonable results. Now, my result today, guys, is about, so I'm a smidge over 2,000 US. I was a smidge over, like, I don't know, $80 over 2,000 US. Yesterday was 2,600 US. The day before was 2,100 US. The day before that was like 1,600 US. So my goal is to get to about 10,000 US for the week. And guys, that doesn't make me the biggest trader in the world, but it kind of doesn't matter, right? It's just, as long as you're doing the same thing every day, day after day, with meticulous boredom, you normally end up on the right side of the market. It's a reality of trading. Now, we are in the last, guys. We're in the last candle. So anybody that said anything about consistency, mastering the art of trading, guys, that's why we're here. We're not here to beat anybody else. We're not here to compare ourselves to anybody else. No one else has got our indicators, so there's no point comparing them to anybody else. But point being is that we're not here to play the comparison or the blame game, guys. We're just here to be the best we can be every single day. And if that means $200 profit, great. If it means $2,000, great. If it means $100, great. But it's about, I think it's about mastering an art, guys. That's what we're doing. And we've got some indicators to help us along the way, of course. So for the FTX traders, guys, we've got 4 minutes until the hour turns. At this point in time, you guys are staring down the barrel of a tier 2 reversal. That's probably going to get a wriggle on pretty quick. Just let me do the maths on it. Yeah. You want this little candle, guys, this little candle here on FTX. You want this little candle in 3 minutes and 56 seconds to close like that. That would know green. We want a little green one. That would be really amazing. Well, it's really amazing. The FESX is not going to help us, guys, unless we get a really, really strong buying candle on the FESX. All right, so we're going to juggle that. We're going to juggle that hourly turn trade, guys, very, very carefully, because you guys are already really profitable on the FTX. We don't want to give all of our profit back. Now, my daily goal, as everyone's aware, is 500 to 1,000 US per account. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 2 accounts over KPI. I've got 4 accounts under KPI. 1 account is really badly under KPI. I don't know what happened with one of them. I don't know what happened. But that's, I suppose, one of the dynamics of copy trading is some days it's incredible. Other days you're like, wow, what happened to you? But anyway, we'll just keep plugging away. We'll just keep plugging away. Now, guys, 2 minutes or so to go. So let's look at the 15-minute charts, try and get a read on what they're doing. All right, so FTX at this stage, guys, they're setting up a 15-minute chart swing trigger short. So I think we're going to go lower, guys. I think we're going to go lower on the FTX. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that one. Okay. For the NASDAQ 15-minute chart, you guys are setting up a swing trigger short. Oh, dear. Actually, you know what? You're not setting up a swing trigger short because you don't have the trend. But I'm thinking NASDAQ, they're going to try and sell down below that 15-minute candle. That's probably going to get stuck, right? Probably going to get stuck, and we're going to turn around and go back the other way. S&P, guys, is almost always in charge of the NASDAQ. So their 15-minute chart. All right, so we blew this volume. Guys, so look, Louis. Louis, is that why you were... It's like... I'm just looking at this chart. Can everybody see this mustard green candle here, guys? Can everyone see that? So that effectively, that is that's an extreme volume candle. So the S&P 500 traders leading into the European Open were like, you know what? We cannot buy this market at all. Please sell. So anybody that spotted that climactic reversal, guys, you would have just sat your order underneath here, and it is plummeted through. Okay, so when we come into the Open of Europe, guys, tip for everybody, please make sure you check your 15-minute chart. Right? I missed that. Otherwise, I would have just said to everybody on the S&P, just push the sell button. Just push the sell button. Or, guys, pick up the sell that we spoke about in the brief. All right? Remember we spoke about this one here? Saying if we push up first and fail badly, just sell underneath that candle and run. Look at this. It's gone beautifully. All right, 53 seconds. Nice, 53 seconds. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. Buyers own the stair step. Nice. So what we're looking for on NASDAQ, nice, we're looking for a sell down underneath that point. Nice. Once we get underneath that point, what that ultimately means is the sellers will have stolen the stair step. And as a result, we're then looking to buy back against that. Yeah. So my magic reversal, guys, my magic reversal is about to occur on the FTX. It's not mine. It's a mathematical reversal. Let me double check. 1, 2, 100% correct. So, guys, we're probably going to pick up a really good reversal here on the FDAX. So the S&P and NASDAQ are going to try and do the opposite. That's okay. So for the FDAX traders, guys, we're looking for a relatively strong close. Okay, relatively strong, which we're going to get. Okay. What I want, guys, I want to see a little bit of selling first, please. The long is over the top of this current candle. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with the long, but I'd love to see selling first. I'd love to see some selling first. The reason being is I want to get basically a risk reduction on the trade. So if I can, guys, if I can convince, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 30 points of risk. Please, DAX, don't run, darling, please. So for those who trade tier 2 reversals, guys, you're long over the top of this candle at 216. Guys, now if you've just gone long or you've just taken this delta here or that delta there, guys, please go for a 5-point first target, reduce your risk, and see if you can get it to run. Now, if you are going to go long on the FDAX, guys, if this is what you do, because you've got 30 points of risk, I want you guys to try and go for at least a 30-point target, please. So I would suggest a 5-point first target, a 30-point second target. Okay, now, once these guys move around 10 points into profit, which is right there on that little T1 delta, if we get any more buying on the FDAX, guys, then I would go for long range, right? So long range targets, guys, make sure you've got no risk on your entry, please. So FDAX did this to me yesterday. Guys, no, the day before, Tuesday, we set up a tier 2 reversal. Daniel spotted it. So well done, Daniel. You spotted it. Again, guys, I didn't get the sell down I wanted to get everybody in a little bit more safely. Long story short, if you're long on the delta or you're long on the actual candle, you've gone through your first target. Guys, oh, nice work, guys. Yeah, Daniel, it's okay, mate. You'll get another chance. These buyers, if they were going to take off, once they get past that 10-point mark, they normally go nuts. They haven't gone nuts, so you will get a chance, right? You will get a chance. Just FDAX, please sell down a little bit first. It'd be really awesome. So, for everybody else, guys, again, let's just clean it up. We've had an okay session, guys. What I'm really excited by is we avoided a losing trade on the swing trigger and picked up a winner as a result. So, again, guys, missing a losing trade is quite often really good. How much should retrace be to tick reversal? Mate, all I want to see on a tier 2 reversal is a little bit of selling come in, and I want to see that selling get rejected really heavily. If that was the case, mate, I'd buy, see this 102 candle here, I'd buy over the top of that, or I'd buy that delta. What I'm actually planning on doing is reducing the overall risk on the trade, which reduces the overall potential. So reducing the risk increases the potential. Right, now this is the sell down, guys, that I was expecting these guys to do. All right, so we just let them sell down, guys. Let them sell down. Let them ideally run out of steam. If we go a little bit lower, guys, on FDAX, so let them come down a little bit. If we go a little bit lower, we're going to target that black diamond delta going long. Okay, now for everybody else at this stage, guys, we're right in the middle of the trend indicator, which is proving to hold these guys up. Just wait one. Okay. Well, guys, the boys have just got home from school. They're coming to say hello while we run the LTR. So just let this bit of traffic in the office. Guys, now at this stage for the NASI and S&P traders, I've got no new entries for you at this stage. I've got no new entries for the FDAX. Right, so those that went long over the top of the candle, again, using tight targets, tight risk control, you've been paid on your short range target, not your long range target. Well done. Still waiting for clear guidance on the NASDAQ. what this again, the reason we're running this webinar tonight, what today has proven on the FTAX is the smaller chart, larger chart combination trading. We knew if these guys pushed up on that 60-minute chart and failed, we get a swing trigger short on the 60-minute chart. And hey, presto, look at the sell down, like the monster sell down. So that's actually a good little lesson for today. Now, what I've got, guys, on FTAX, I've got the buyers have stolen the stair step. So what we ultimately need, if we're going to pick up a really lovely reversal, we need the sellers to basically retake the step, get caught again, and then we might actually have a second crack to the high side. Let's just watch what they're doing. For the American-based traders, again, let me just double check the Asian high. Okay, so Asian high is here. So Asian high is just here. Now, the reason I'm bringing that across the chart is if these guys get back up to the Asian high and they get stuck there, we're going to get a really lovely sell. If they don't get stuck there, these guys are going to turn and run for quite some time. Now, that might be, it's not a 60-minute chart trade. Let's have a look. It's not a 30-minute chart trade. It's a 15-minute chart static bar reversal long. All right, so what we need, guys, what we need is we're going to flip this Fibonacci up the other way. Okay, because this is a 15-minute chart swing trigger. Static bar reversal. It's a reversal long. So we don't want to assume a close over the 50 fib of that little move. Right, so this stage, guys, we don't want to be long on NASDAQ. We want to be short. Okay, we want to be short. So let's just see these buyers push in. FTAX, I need the sellers to steal the stair step, guys, before we look for another trade. FTAX traders, I think you've done pretty well today. Let me just see what these guys are doing because they're going to go towards the Asian high again. Okay, so what have I missed? So if you're long from any of these longs, it's obviously going very, very well. But point being is I don't think I've got anybody long at this stage. Have I got anybody long on the S&P from this static bar reversal? Guys, because you guys, the S&P traders tend to hold your trades a lot longer than everybody else. So what we're looking for, guys, at this stage, buyers own the stair step on both American markets. So that's awesome. We're looking for selling-based reversals. If we get well above the Asian high, guys, then we are looking for longs only. The only people that are looking at trades at this point in time, guys, those people that trade off the 76 Fibonacci's. So if you are a reversal trader, guys, and you trade single touch reversals off these red Fibonacci's here, guys, if you wait for the buyers to push up, hit the Fibonacci's and then sell under the Fibonacci, you'd be looking for a 20 tick first target and then whatever you can get your hands on. Guys, so I'll bring on the 20 tick box just to pull that into perspective. So that's for those people that trade a single touch reversal. So the buyers push up, they hit the Fibonacci's, so they hit the evil twins perfectly. Guys, push through, allowing you to put your sell order underneath that and run it back down. Guys, now if you want to take that trade, guys, the obviously trade's gone up. It's hit the entry or it's hit the Fibonacci's and it's already gone through the 20 tick target. To get that trade again, we would need the buyers to push back up again, basically equal or make a higher high and then go short again. So for the single touch reversal traders on S&P and NASDAQ, you've got an identical signal, right? S&P and NASDAQ, identical signal, only for those people that trade single touch reversals off Fibonacci's. Okay. Now, guys, if I was short on the NASDAQ at this point in time, guys, I'd be short for a 20 tick target and a 50 tick target, or a 20 tick target. I would then make sure my stop loss is at zero, and I'd be trying to push it back down to the bottom of the jar down here and try and pull 100 ticker out of it. So if anyone is short on NASDAQ, guys, again, if you are a single touch reversal trader, you've gone through your first target, you've either gone through your 50 tick target or you're going to try and push it down for 100 ticks. Very, very similar to the first reversal we took. All right, FTAX, guys, the red diamond deltas are valid short. Sorry, I'm a little bit late on these ones here. So these red diamond deltas on the FDAX, right? The reason being is the buyers tried to push into key Fibonacci, failed. The sellers then started to run down. They started producing these selling deltas. So the deal, guys, if you are going to just join the selling momentum on the FDAX, there are two trades. One's at 178, the other one's at 174. You'd be looking for a 5-point first target on both of those trades, and then you're going to try and see how much you can get. All right. Do I have, well done, Cole. Nice work. Do I have anybody short on the NASDAQ that is trying to hold for long range targets, please? Any FDAX trader, guys, that's gone short on either of these deltas, guys, you've gone way beyond your 5-point first target. Guys, way beyond. Anybody that's short on the NASDAQ, guys, under the 76 Fibonacci's, as you've gone a 20-tick target, you've gone through a 50-tick target. If these buyers push up and fail badly, guys, if they push up and fail badly, then you're looking to try and hold for big targets. Guys, note that red diamond delta there on NASDAQ, guys, only if you are relatively advanced, that trade is valid short only. Guys, the key with the short is you do exactly the same thing again. Guys, you'd be looking for a 20-tick first target only. Guys, and you would want that target to get absolutely annihilated because the risk on the trade's a little bit funky. All right, so it's a little bit too much risk for most traders. All right, for most traders. Now, I'd suggest, guys, based on the buying showing very early in this candle, I would suggest the sellers are probably going to try and show again. Give them about a minute and 30 seconds, guys, and I'd suggest the sellers might try and sneak in again. They're basically cruising back up, doing a recon, working out where the key Fibonacci's are. The buyers just got smacked very heavily by sellers, guys, very heavily. Now, at this stage, guys, that delta down here is too low, right? So this one down here is a little bit too low because we're approaching the middle of the MDI, middle of the trend indicator. The higher delta is okay if you're looking for a 20-tick target, and you would have, guys, a 15-tick or so risk control point on that, right? So the moment they push 15 ticks in your favor, right? The moment they push 15 ticks in your favor, which is about there, right? Go on, go, 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 go. Right, so I would cut my risk off on the delta short, guys. The risk is cut off there. Boom. All right, so if anybody's short on the delta, guys, even if you waited for the buyers to push up and then picked up the delta as they came back through again, I want you guys to go for a 20-tick first target, 50-tick second target, please. Anybody short on the FDAX, guys, if you're short on any of the deltas, you're going for a 5-point first target, cutting your risk and trying to run, okay? Now, anyone short on NASDAQ, please, if you're short on the red diamond delta, 20-tick first target, guys, 50-tick second target, please, all right? So 50-tick second target looks like 1, 2, 3. 50-tick second target is down there at the black line, okay? So if you are short on NASDAQ, guys, you've read the market very well. You've used the delta to enter the market. You've controlled your risk in the middle of the MDI. You can't lose any money now, guys. This is complete money for jam. You're looking for at least a 50-tick second target. Go on, sweetheart. Go, go, go. No. Don't stop there. Keep going. Come on. Keep going. Silly little NASDAQ. Off you go, please. Go and boom. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Very good. No, it's good fun, eh? It's good fun. So why, guys, why are we short? Why are we short? Now, for the maestros that picked up that single touch Fibonacci, everybody see this mustard green candle? Guys, it's an extreme volume candle. It basically says the buyers have completely cooked themselves. Wait for the buyers to show again and then join the sellers and try and run it as far as you can. Now, that looks like it's just gone 52 ticks towards a 50-tick target. Right, now, where did the 50 come from? Look at this right there. So the volatility indicator, guys, says your second target should be 50 ticks. So it actually should be 49 ticks. So if you've gone short on the delta, we picked up a 20 tick target and a 49 tick target because the indicator said go for 49 ticks. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. I'm excited by that. Now, at this point in time, guys, we've kind of milked that one. We're going to have to wait for these guys to reset again, and then we'll just take them off again. So, Nazi traders, guys, once again, depending on how you trade, we've had a couple of good trades today. We've missed a loss, which is really good fun. And we may, depending on how you trade, may have just picked up another win, guys. So I think we've done well today, guys, considering the market is very, very unpredictable. Do I have any FDAX traders that are short on the deltas that are holding for just insane targets? As now we said, if you pick up a short, guys, you want to go to the pink Fibonacci there. So if you are on those deltas, guys, you're looking at that stage, it's a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 point target. Okay, awesome. If you're short on the lower one, guys, it's not as far. If we get caught here on the FDAX, we are going to reverse and go back the other way. If we close below that pink Fibonacci, guys, we're probably not going to get another long trade on the FDAX. It's probably going to be short. And in fact, guys, if we get all the way down to yesterday's low, that's incredible. Look, here's our daily chart. Now, hang on a second. Guys, what did we say when we came in? All right, it said to everybody, we're in a daily static bar reversal short. These guys normally sell for 3 days. 1, 2, 3. So wait for the buyers to retrace up, hit Fibonacci, and then we're going to go short and try and hold it as long as we possibly can. All right? And then this is what they've done today. Look at this. Now, I could have made a lot more money today if I just held my short, but my ATM took me out. So I'm okay with that. I'll come back tomorrow. We'll do the same thing again. We'll just try and go for these bloody long-range targets. But we don't mind, guys. We don't mind also lots of little ones on the way as well. We don't mind that. It's making money, guys. It's just doing the best, guys. It's doing the best with what we've got. Any questions, guys? Any questions at all about anything that we've done today so far? Guys, if you've got questions, now's a really good time. The Nasdaq, guys, is starting to hug the center of the trend indicator here. So that means we're trading into congestion. Right, this would normally mean the 15-minute charts are now starting to close. Yeah, look at this. Right, so see all these 15-minute candles are now starting to close inside the range of this big one here. So basically, they don't know what to do. Guys, the 15-minute chart traders are like, got no idea what to do with this. So what we'll probably find, guys, is the volume starts dropping. Guys, the volume will start dropping as the market becomes directionless. MJ, SBR long on FDAX, 100%. So, guys, we are about to pick up a trade on FDAX. All right, so clearly if anybody was short, that's gone really, really well. If anyone's gone short, that's gone really, really well from the deltas. Now we're looking for longs. Guys, now, again, with 1 minute and 50 to go, guys, I love the idea of a long. If you're an aggressive trader, that black diamond delta is tradable if you are an aggressive trader. If you're a little bit more conservative, guys, you're going to wait for 1 minute and 40 seconds, and then you're going to look to try and place exactly the same trade once the buyers have proven they're interested in moving the market. Okay, so there'll be two versions of the world here. At this stage, guys, the FDAX long will be inside our risk profile. There's no Fibonacci issue with going long. It would be really smart if this green candle closes above that red 50 running across the screen there. Now, it's not going to negate the trade, guys. It's not going to rule out the trade, but it would be really lovely if they close above it. All right, because they're going to feed straight into this minus 36 rated candle. They're going to feed straight into that, and there are going to be a whole lot of sellers that are going to panic, and the only way the sellers can panic is to buy the market. As you can imagine, the selling stop loss, guys, is a buy order and vice versa. All right, so that's again, if there's panic on the FDAX, it's going to be the sellers bailing, and the only way they can bail is to buy. Okay, now we've done okay today, guys. So, hat off to you. You've done really, really well. Guys, let's just let them, as we say all the time, just let them come to us. Guys, don't try and force a trade. Don't try and don't try and force the market to do something. S&P, two very, very clear entries. Louis, I think, got the biggest trade today on S&P, which was brilliant. Nasdaq traders, you're looking pretty good. Oh, that is a very, very nasty. That's a very nasty close, guys, on the FDAX. So we were looking for a really, really lovely little green candle, guys, to get above that 50. And then we wanted to grab that black diamond delta and say, you know what, let's rock and roll. You saw in the last 10 seconds, as they basically went from a green candle to red. I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's a little bit of news hanging around that did that. So again, guys, we're back into the waiting game. What we're looking for is we're looking for the buyers to push up. Guys, we want this minus 36 rated long. So we want to sit long, guys, above the candle. Double checking figures. The long's at 179. So 24179. What we're doing is basically, guys, we're going to sit until the buyers prove themselves, and then we're going to join what should be a freight train of buyers going back the other way. Well done, Cole. That's fantastic. Well done. Well done. Well done. For me, guys, I'm at KPI, as you know, on 2 of my accounts. I'm under KPI on 4. If my risk control didn't take me out of my long range short, it would have been about $2,500 per account. Nice, but again, I haven't got that today. I've got less than that. I reckon we read the FDAX perfectly. There's no question about that. And the meltdown was just so impressive. Okay, now we're waiting for the buyers to guys show that they've got a little bit of pride, and then we're going to join them. And that might be, guys, that might be the end of us. If the buyers can't show any strength at all, guys, the sellers are probably just going to move the FDAX down to, I would suggest, guys, yesterday's low in the S1, which does fall 100% in alignment with the daily charts, which say we should be selling for at least 3 days. One, today, tomorrow. So, guys, I wouldn't be surprised at all. If we end up with, again, tomorrow is another selling day globally, because we've got daily shorts on all markets. Okay. Now, guys, any questions at all? Young Arland is going to come back on, guys, in around about 2.5 to 3 minutes time. Everybody's got the link for tonight. Guys, if you can join us, it'll start 30 minutes after this session. Guys, I can run through some of the trades from tonight if you want me to. Guys, I've prepared a gold workspace for you because, again, these larger chart trades, guys, they work a dream on the gold market. It's absolute dream on gold. Now, at this stage, guys, FDAX is looking very buoyant. The buyers are really strong. There's no question about that. If you're a new trader, you're waiting for the buyers to prove they're strong by letting this candle close. Once you saw what happened last time, the buyers were really strong until 10 seconds before the candle closed and they got hammered. All right. NASDAQ is now starting to come back to life. 1, 2, 3 buying phases to the high side, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 3-phase move to the high side on NASDAQ. 3-phase move on S&P, so they're ready to sell down. So now we're going to have the American markets going down and the Europeans going up. Yeah. All right, let's just wait and see what they've got for us. All right, so we're right at the end of the session. We've got to wait for these candles to close, guys. We don't want to take a premature trade. FDAX, do not go without us, please. Come on. There's going to be, guys, there's on the FDAX, we've got a minus 36 rated static bar reversal to the high side right there. There is going to be a crap load of stop losses. That's a technical trading term. Guys, sitting at exactly 180. All right, so you've got basically 10 minutes worth of selling. $240, $380, $580, $640. you've got potentially, guys, potentially 80% of 640, call it rough maths, 450. You got 450 stop losses sitting right there. It's right there at 180. And they're not going to be happy with these, not going to be happy with these buyers. So, guys, if we get a really strong FDAX candle, right, let them close, guys. Don't the last 10 seconds on these candles is so important. We wanted a really strong buying candle, and we got a complete I don't know what I'm doing candle. Nah. Oh dear. Oh dear. So at this stage, guys, the buyers had an opportunity to stamp their authority in the market, and they failed. This is why we trade a 5-minute chart, not a 1-minute chart. Yeah, mate, 100%. So the FESX is 100% in charge of what we do. And at the moment, guys, the buyers had an opportunity to be really strong, and they basically failed. But you can see the sellers, every time the sellers show, guys, these sellers aren't impressing anyone. So the moment we get strong buying candles on both European markets, guys, the FDAX is going to cruise, and it's probably going to go back to the daily 50, right, which is about, let's say, 180 entry, 225 exit. Guys, it's a 45-point trade, right? 45 points. Do quick maths on that one. 45 times 28 US dollars. It's $1,260 per contract. Okay, so these guys are clearly getting ready to say, you know what, we're going to buy the market. We've just got to wait for the buyers to prove they're strong. If the FESX, mate, was to buy above the line and hold, or buy to the line then gap over the line, look, see these black diamond deltas coming in? As the institutions, now where did we say all the stop losses were hiding? Guys, we said they were hiding at exactly 180. Look at the insto orders coming in at 180. So the instos are already getting ready to say, you know what, I reckon there's going to be panic on the station. It's going to be panic. Oh dear. And you know the hardest thing, guys, is to now you're like, oh my gosh, Lockie, they're going to run without me. The hardest thing is to not push the buy button now, anticipating that candle is going to be a strong candle. Now, if it runs without us, guys, we look like a clown. If it sets up a wonderful trade and then we take it, we look like a hero. There's a funny thing in trading. There seems to be there's no middle ground, guys. It's either hero or zero. At this point in time, we don't have permission to go long, as we're waiting for the 5-minute chart traders to definitely agree that we're all going long. And you watch what happens. Everyone piles in long. You watch the bet, guys. What's the bet? We turn the live trading room off in about 2 minutes time. What's the bet? We come back from the webinar in half an hour and it's bloody skyrocketed. What's the bet? Or it's plummeted. It won't just sit here. That's just not what the FDAX does. So a lot of the FDAX traders, guys, would be watching the FESX very closely down the bottom right-hand corner. They'd be looking at this going, you know what, if you guys can buy, we're going to back the FDAX. If you guys can't buy, we're not going to back anything. Right? So you watch, it's a competition now to see if the big traders, the big FESX traders, it's a comp to see who's going to play the game, guys, and who's not going to play the game. Let me just have a look here. Let me just have a look. 290. Okay, just doing some quick maths. That's 90. Okay. Alrighty, so at this point, guys, it looks like the FDAX is going to give us a 4-point turning bar long, right? That's quite a strong signal. As we're right at the end. Oh, don't you run without us, please. Don't you dare. So for the FTX traders, guys, we're right at the end of the session. This is going to be a 4-point turning bar long. We're very close to a 4-point turning bar long. You can see the institution started putting their order into the market at 180. Right, so they've basically tried to second guess or front run a reversal. All right. So how we're going to deal with the FTX, guys, how we're going to deal with the FTX. Again, we are coming through to the end of the session. It is a valid long over the top of the candle. What I would prefer, guys, is the sellers move down just under that black diamond delta at 180 and actually fill buying orders. That is what I want. The reason being is if you go long over the top of the candle, guys, the risk on the trade is a little bit too much. I think they're just going to run, and again, they can do whatever they want. Guys, I would prefer we get a little bit of a sell down. Guys, we want to pick up this minus 36 rated SBR long. That happens to correspond perfectly with that delta. The sellers would need to sell down, get below the delta in order to enter at 180. Okay. Now, with all that said, guys, if you are over your daily goal, Alan, yes, mate, we need to have a chat, mate. So I might try and track you down regarding Bali. Mate, you're my last person to talk to, Alan. So I would love to have a powwow. For the FTX traders, if you've got some good profit in the bank, guys, I wouldn't hang around. I just, again, we'll come back tomorrow, do the same thing. For the Nazi traders, we've done well. For S&P, we've done well. And guys, I'm happy with what we've done today. I could have got a lot more money out of the FTX if my ATM didn't strangle my long range short, guys, but I still did okay. Which was awesome. MJ, 20 points on FTX, mate. Well done. That is fantastic. That is well done.
Hey.
So, guys, look, I'm going to run away. Here she is. Arlen normally comes in to say good day. There she is. The big boss is here, guys. So I better behave myself.
There we go.
I'm trying to turn my camera on, Arlen, but it won't let me.
It's okay. It's okay.
Technology.
Well, no worries about that.
We've done well today, Arlen. We have danced with the devil. We've got nothing but winning trades. So,
well,
we're good.
It sounds like you guys had a lot of fun. So I'm happy about that. Also, as I do know that most of the guys that come from Samurai Day Trading, you guys really, really like futures.
Yes, we do.
Well,
Yes, we do.
well, guys and girls, we do have a promotion happening during the month of October, which is if you get a futures account, you will not have to pay an activation fee when you pass the challenge, even if you pass next month or later on. So keep that in mind. Really, really cool promotion. You can check it out on our website at thetradingpit.com. And yeah, that's it from my side. Anything else you want to add,
Awesome.
Lachlan?
No, I'm done. That was a very hard session. We did well though, so I'm going to write up my notes, write up my screenshots, and I've got this masterclass starting in 27 minutes. So
Well,
I'm
there we go.
glutton for punishment today.
Good luck.
Cool. Thank you, and thank you TTP guys for massive support. Arlen, thank you for everything you do. It's incredible. So thank you.
See you next time.
Sounds great. See you guys. Bye for now. Bye.